Welcome to Mimi's Math Channel. Today I will discuss geometric sequences. If you look at the notes below, you will see the explicit formula, the recursive formula, and also the exponential function. I've labeled each one of the variables so that you're aware of what it means. For recursive, you just have to know that you're really taking your R, which is your common ratio, and you're just multiplying it times the previous term. That's what this A sub n minus 1 means. You can also write it where you put the ratio part first, and if you wanted to drop the parentheses and just put the multiplication sign there, you could do that as well. It all means the same thing. For your exponential function, we're used to using A as our initial value, which is when we have our y-intercept, but be careful in some of these situations when we're asking for A, we may be asking for the first term, so that means x is not 0, it's going to be 1. Be aware of that. In this first example, we are identifying the first term as well as the common ratio from this geometric sequence. The first term is as it states, the first number that you see. It's going to be 3. When you're identifying that, it is shown as A sub 1. Normally you will see A sub n, and n just represents the term number. The common ratio, however, is asking, how did I go from 3 to 12, from 12 to 48, from 48 to 192? Well, ratio means to divide, so you're really taking the number that's after what you're looking at. So like 12 divided by 3, 48 divided by 12, 192 divided by 48. However, we are used to multiplying, so we just go in the opposite direction. And you're still going to get the same answer, which is the ratio of 4. In example 2, we're asked to create an equation to represent the following pattern. If I count across, there's 8 tiles, and if I count down, there's 4. So 8 times 4 is 32, and then I have 8 times 2, 16, and if I count this, again, that's 8. We want to try to figure out how do we get from 32 to 16, and then from 16 to 8. As I'm looking at this, I see that I'm actually taking half each time. 32 divided by 2, 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Therefore, the ratio will be 1/2. I'm also going to need to know A sub 1, and that's the first term that you see in your sequence. A sub 1 is 32. We're going to create an explicit formula, the exponential function, and the recursive formula using what we know. For the explicit formula, we know that A sub 1 is going to be replaced with 32. R is going to be replaced with 1/2, and we don't know what term we're trying to find, so we're just going to leave it as the n minus 1. Now that we know the explicit formula, we're going to simplify this so that we can go into the exponential function. I'm just going to change the variable n to x to mirror this function. So what I did is I took 32 and I just made it a fraction. The exponent rule says that if I have 1/2 raised to the n minus 1, I can actually divide this and then change this sign because I'm moving from the numerator to the denominator, so this will now become a positive 1, but I can keep the base. When I multiply 32 times 1/2 to the x, I'm just going across. In the numerator, I still end up with 32 times 1 over 2 to the x. In my denominator, I'm going to multiply 1 times 1/2 raised to the first power, which is just 1/2. When I am dividing a number by a fraction, I have to take the reciprocal, which means I'm going to take the numerator 1 and put it in the denominator, and then I'm going to take the denominator 2 and put it in the numerator. 32 and 2 are both in the numerator. I multiply them. That's where the 64 is coming from. When I multiply across, I have 1/2 to the x power. This is my exponential function. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the information that I know and write the recursive formula. For the recursive formula, the only information that I have is my common ratio. That's what I'm going to substitute in for R, and I can leave A sub n minus 1 intact. For example 3, I am asked to use this specific rule, and I'm going to identify the values of A and B when given the following terms. And then I'm going to show you in Desmos how to verify by using your graph in your table. I'm going to substitute what I know. I'm going to use 1 for my n. N is my term number, so that tells me that my first term is 2.4. So I'm going to replace this n with a 1. I'm trying to find A, I don't know what A is. B is going to be my common ratio, and I see N, so I'm going to replace that with 1. After doing some calculations, I recognize that my common ratio is 2. Now that I was able to substitute in my A sub 1 and my B, which is my R, then I can go ahead and solve for A by dividing both sides by 2. This is why I said that you don't want to automatically assume that your A is going to be 2.4. It depends on which term number you use. I'm going to go ahead and write out the exponential function, go to Desmos, and then prove that this is the correct information. When writing out the exponential function, I will replace the t of n with y, and A is 1.2. Multiply that times B, which is 2, and raise it to the x power. Typing it in Desmos, this is what it looks like. You go to your gear setting, select the table. Once you select your table, it's going to pull this information up, and then you can just verify your terms 1, 2, and 3, which is my output 2.4, 4.8, and 9.6. And that is what this is showing here. First term, second term, third term. In example 4, we're given the recursive form of a geometric sequence where we know that the first term is 5, and then we're trying to use this formula to verify the fourth term. Let's look at our sequence to figure out the pattern. 5 to 15, 15 to 45, 45 to 135, and so on and so forth. It looks like we're multiplying by 3. I know 2 things about this sequence. I know that my first term is 5, and I know that my common ratio is 3. That's enough information for me to get started in verifying the fourth term. Remember, this is my n, A sub n, and then I'm going to substitute in everything else that I know. After substituting what I know, I just went ahead and simplified it. So 3 times 45. 45 came from me substituting in 4 minus 1, which means A sub 3. That's the third term. 1, 2, 3. That's where the 45 is coming from. 45 times 3 is in fact 135. So A sub 4, 4 meaning the fourth term, should be 135, and that is true. We're going to use the explicit formula to find the sixth term in the sequence. After substituting into the explicit formula, n is 6 because I'm trying to find the sixth term. A sub 1 is still 5. That's your first term, and then your R is your common ratio, which we said was 3. Once you simplify it, this is what the steps look like. Your sixth term should be 1,215. If we were to keep going. Using your explicit formula, you can find any terms. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Have an amazing day.